Hi, my name is Akiva Goldman, and I'm an attorney at Goldman Associates. And today I want to talk to you about why our firm presents a very, very cost-effective option for people who are looking for representation in a custody case or in a divorce case or in a family law matter in general. You know, there's a lot of attorneys out there. There's a lot of very, very well-qualified, good lawyers who can handle your case and do a great job. The question, though, is if you have the choice between two great lawyers, but you have the ability to perhaps go with one lawyer that's more cost effective than the other, you know, it's something to think about. Ultimately, your bill doesn't have as much to do with your retainer or your hourly rate as how much time is allocated toward getting you the desired result. Now, generally, you're going to have choices of going with a small or a solo practitioner or going with a larger organization. Goldman Associates is, I wouldn't call us a large organization. There are firms that have 500 lawyers. We don't have that. We have about 10 lawyers and appropriate support staff to handle that. But at the same time, we're not solo practitioners. So when you call somebody and you speak to a lawyer, in a solo practitioner environment, that's going to be the same guy who you always talk to. That's going to be the same guy who is going to be standing next to you when you have a motion before the court. That's also going to be the same guy who's not available to take your call because he's representing someone else. That's also going to be the same guy who, when something has to be sent or Xeroxed, the guy who's going to be standing at the Xerox machine. And the problem with that is it becomes a very, very expensive luxury. To some degree, a solo practitioner provides an exclusive type of representation because he and only he will be dealing with your matter and no other hands will touch that file. The flip side of that is an extremely high cost because, like I said, if that guy is charging you $250 an hour, you're paying for $250 an hour for all his time. That includes the time when he's faxing something. That includes the time when a letter's being sent out. In a firm like ours, where you have more support personnel, where the personnel infrastructure includes lawyers and other personnel who do not bill at lawyer rates, the person at the Xeroxing machine isn't charging lawyer rates. You see, the person handling a lot of the administrative stuff is doing so at a much, much reduced hourly rate. So therefore, your bill overall is going to be much lower. Now, and it has to be that way because we have a lot of files, we have a lot of lawyers working here, and to be frank, unlike a solo practitioner who might be relying on your file for a good part of his or her income, quite directly, we don't rely on any one file for our income. We have a lot of files and a lot of people working, and our goal is to get you your desired result and dispatch that case as soon as we can possibly obtain that result. People will always ask me, how long is it going to take for my case to conclude? And my answer always the same. As long as it takes to do a good job, that's how long it's going to take. No more and no less. And so what ends up happening, because we have many people involved in the handling of the case, the progress, well, it continues. So if one lawyer's at trial, it doesn't mean that your case sits around collecting dust and nothing gets done because that person's unavailable, because there are many, many other people available to handle things as they go on. So instead of having a situation where one item is being handled by one person in one opportunity at one time, you've got a situation where multiple things are going on. Multiple things could include your file, all the while that same lawyer is involved in another case. That's law firm reality. And that's why in our firm, there's always at least two people managing your file. I manage the overall files, and then there's an attorney at ground level who's handling the specifics. Not to mention support staff in the way of legal assistants, paralegals, etc. So in an environment like that, it's kind of like a factory. If you hire one person to hand build you a car, that car might cost $1 million. Where if it's going through many hands in a factory type of environment, it's going to cost you much less. We're not a factory environment, but we are an environment where, while relatively small, like I said, we only have 10 lawyers here, maybe another 15 or so personnel. So that's not a big environment. That's still considered a relatively small environment, but there's many, many people available to you at all times. And you get the strength of the entire firm for the price of the one lawyer. So that is why hiring us presents a very, very cost-effective mechanism to do it. A solo practitioner might only charge you $1,000 retainer, where we might charge you $3,000, but that $1,000 retainer is going to be used up like that, and then you're going to get a second bill. Believe you me, you're not going to like that second bill. Nobody likes to get that second bill, okay? So the way it works, you have to look at not just what's it costing me right now, because that's being penny smart and dollar foolish. You have to look at what's the overall picture, what is the possibility that this can be handled and I can obtain my result in a way that I like with a reasonable price. That is what we offer you. If you have any questions about the details of that, of course, reach out to us. If you found this helpful, please like and share.